Привет! DSMP mostly SBI fanfic recommendation crossover edition. Let's go! How to be a Human Being by Rose Writing. Tags, 16,000 words. This is a DSMP and Among Us crossover fanfic. Yes, you heard me right, Among Us. You might be thinking, oh, this is just a crack fic, so I'll just skip it. But it's not. I thought it was, but it's not. Okay, now that I've got all the memes out of the way, I can tell you what it's about. Techno, Will, and Phil are a small crew that recently got a new addition. A young man by the name of Tommy that insists on referring to people by their colors, not their names, and happens to be an imposter. This world believes that imposters have been extinct for the past 20 years, when in reality they've been training their young for a special mission. The author has put a lot of thought into how the imposters work, about their biology, how different weapons could affect them, their food, training, and emotions. I feel like the plot is a little bit rushed, as I feel the characters got close a bit too quickly, especially Tommy and Technoblade, but overall I really like this fic and I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I've decided that now I'll be giving ratings, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 stars. This is a restricted fic, so you will need an AO3 account to read it. Who'd Ever Loving F Made Me a Prince by Shiralala. Tags, 120,000 words. This fic doesn't have any of the characters from Who Made Me a Princess, instead they're replaced by DSMP characters and sort of follow the same plot. In this case, Athy is Tommy, Felix is Sam, Cloud is Techno, but instead of being Tommy's father, he's Tommy's big brother, and I guess Janet is sorta like Will, but instead of being a lost relative that has been living away from the royal family, he is a prince that got kidnapped and got amnesia or something. I don't really know who the heck is Phil and what he's even doing. Tommy gets reincarnated as the main character of a book he read, a lonely prince that is destined to die at the hands of his brothers. He decides that he will not be dying today, thank you very much, and works his ass off to get on everyone's good side. 7 out of 10 stars. Have an Allium as a Farewell by Sintus. Tags, 18,000 words. This too is a Who Made Me a Princess and DSMP crossover. The difference is that in this one, Who Made Me a Princess isn't a story Tommy read, instead it's kind of his first life. Tommy's Athy, Phil is Cloud, Rambo is Lucas, I think? After Kristen's death, Phil forbid anyone to mention Theseus and disappeared for a couple of years. One night, Theseus sneaks out of his room and stumbles upon Phil, who decides, welp, this kid is cold, so I guess I'll give him hot cocoa and completely ignore the fact that I neglected him and essentially left him the moment he needed me the most. Also, Tommy and Rambo are soulmates whose lives are linked, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'll be honest, I did zone out a couple of times while reading it, but that is just the fault of my non-existent attention span. 6.5 stars from me, but objectively speaking, it's probably an 8 out of 10 stars. A Dragon's Heart in a Blue-Eyed Boy by Madeline the Dragon. Tags, Tommy's a little weird, a little antisocial, a little rude, but that is to be expected from a young boy that seemingly has constantly been on the move and whose only friend is a fire-breathing lizard. This fanfic has both characters from DSMP and characters from How to Tame Your Dragon, so if you ever thought, I wonder if Astrid would get along with Tommy, you can find that out here. I like reading about Tommy's and Hiccup's interactions. I like that Tommy isn't instantly trusting to the rest of the SBI, he is instead actively avoiding them. 7 out of 10 stars. I feel like I give a lot of 7 out of 10 stars. Golly OG, A Hogwarts Letter for Tommy by Pussy Boom. Tags, 69,000 words. There are 3 more works in the series. If I remember correctly, all the Harry Potter characters have long since grown up and such, so they aren't present in this fic. Tommy is a muggle-born that has no idea about magic and is thrown into the wizarding world. While trying to buy school supplies, he meets a nice guy named Filza that helps him get everything he needs, and Tommy decides from that moment that they are friends and he will take every chance he has to hang out with him. Phil is nice, Dream is nice, Will and Techno are mean. This story is all about Tommy learning about magic and trying to find his place in the wizarding world. I give it an 8 out of 10 stars. In the Name of the Fucking Moon by Anonymous. Tags, 131,000 words. DSMP and Sailor Moon crossover. Tommy is sorta like Usagi. After an unfortunate day, Tommy stumbles upon a magical raccoon that is being attacked by a bunch of freaks, and after intervening, the raccoon grants him the ability to use magic. And by grants, I mean he spits up a magical ring. This fic is structured like an anime. Instead of chapters, it has episodes, and it has an overarching plot while still keeping the episodes more or less separate. It also has such interesting lines as, "Holy shit, pretty accurate response." I could try to convince him that I'm a cat. You shouldn't be able to talk at all, period. Send tweet, you're a raccoon. I give it a 7 out of 10. I'm giving a lot of 7 out of 10s, but I guess it makes sense. I won't ever give anything less than a 6 because at that point it's not even worth recommending. An honorable mention. The Transmigrated Villain and His Ghostly Nuisance Counterpart by Valor Estelle 1405. Tags 86.6 thousand words. This fic doesn't follow a specific manhwa, but instead is the result of reading a lot of reincarnating as the villain manhwa and combining them into one. Tommy dies, but Lady Death is like, it's not your time to die, kid, so go possess this guy's body, even though we both know he's supposed to die in the end. Oh, and also, you better hope he explains to you how this world works, because I won't. But luckily, Tommy is such a fanboy of insert story here, that he has read every book in the series, so at least he knows when he's supposed to die. And so he is thrown into this world where his family doesn't really like him, or at least don't take him seriously, and with the help of the ghost of the person whose body he took over, Tommy needs to learn magic because apparently there's a tournament in about a week. The tournament is MCC. 9 out of 10 stars, I like it a lot, I couldn't put it down, I'm waiting for updates. I think this crossover edition will probably be a one-time thing, I don't really read a lot of crossover fics. I'm working on a part 4 for this little fanfic recommendation series and I'm excited to share some of the slightly darker stories I'll mention. One of them has the Dead Dove Do Not Eat tag, but I'm not sure when that will come out.